Hello, Jakey here. Thanks for checking out my video. As I'm sitting here by the beautiful Lac Beauvert, you see Pyramid Mountain behind me. I'm in Jasper National Park right now, and it's gorgeous, as you can tell. If you have not been here, please come and check it out. That's my little plug for Tourism Alberta. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. Really, I want to talk to you about my week. It was full moon this week, and holy cow, man, every once in a while that just hits me like a ton of bricks, and it sure did this week. I watched the documentary Filthy Rich, which is, of course, a documentary about Jeffrey Epstein, or Epstein, however you say his name. And I felt such incredible grief for all of the survivors, the young women, the girls that were lured in by him and raped by him. And I felt such anger for him and all the other rich white men that took advantage of these innocent girls. And that grief lasted for a couple of days. I was crying about it the next day. I was crying about it 2 days later. I spent a significant amount of time surrendering and finding forgiveness in my heart for those men. For Epstein was a sociopath. And was he born that way? I don't believe so. I feel that people become that as a result of their environment. So I'm not sure what his childhood was like and who raised him, but something caused him to be who he was. And the other component is, I've never been raped in my life, and thank goodness for that. And yet I felt an incredible grief. And I realized that about 4 years ago or so, I was in plant medicine ceremony. So those of you who have read my book, you know that I have used plant medicine quite a bit over the past few years. That's helped me in my healing journey. And so this particular one, it was ayahuasca. It's also known as divine of the soul. And so you really connect well with your soul. And I have amazing conversations with my higher self in ceremony. And this particular ceremony, several years ago, was all about the collective feminine energy and the wounded energy. And so I felt grief and I mourned all of the wounded energy of both my grandmothers and my mother. I had taken that on. And when I was done grieving that, I started grieving for the collective feminine of the entire world. And I remember thinking, holy cow, are you kidding me? I'm carrying the entire world on my shoulders in regards to the collective feminine. Wow, and there was just so much heaviness there. Now, we all know that women over the centuries have not been treated in a very empowered way. And so even though I was born and raised in a Western country, I've been able to vote, I have a university education, I have a husband that respects me, I have all of that. But I also absorbed my mother's energy, my mother's beliefs. I took on my mother's beliefs in my childhood. Now all of this is subconscious, and I took this on. My mother took on her mother's beliefs and subconscious energy. And they took on theirs, and so on and so forth. And so what we are dealing with here is generational. And apparently it takes 7 generations for wounds to heal. So it wasn't that long ago that women were not allowed to vote, that women were considered second class, that women were not getting equal pay. There's still many countries around the world where none of that is even happening now. And so it is up to all of us women to start to heal ourselves from the inside out. Not to rely on our male counterpart, but to heal from within. And to realize that the power of the feminine energy is amazing. It is intuitive, it's caring, it's compassionate, it's vulnerable. And these are all really powerful attributes that we have not been acknowledging. As a matter of fact, as women over the last, few decades, we have taken on more and more masculine energy because that the workforce is still very much a man's world. And so we think that we have to act like a man out there in the office and and in the workforce in order to make it work, in order for us to make it to the top. And that is simply not necessary. And so I am putting this out there for us women to embrace the feminine, to become more gentle with ourselves, to let go of these high expectations, to be still, to not force things, to listen to our intuition, to allow ourselves to be vulnerable, because those are our strengths. And it's also for the men. The men have, you know, the yin, it's the yin and the yang, and so we have masculine attributes and feminine, and the men do as well. And so it's also for the men around us to embrace their feminine a little bit more, allow themselves to be more vulnerable, more, you know, show more emotions, to also become more intuitive and create balance in the world. And this is what I have been doing for myself. And I realize that as I'm healing myself and becoming more intuitive, more gentle and softer, allowing myself to be more vulnerable, embracing the feminine energy that's within me, I am not just healing myself, because we are one at an energetic level. And so I am also healing those who came before me and those who come after me. And so I invite you to do the same. Get in touch with the feminine within you and start to embrace that. Start to acknowledge that and realize for yourself how powerful that really is. And so when we hear of women getting abused and overpowered, because there is that oneness, because that woundedness is deep inside all of us, that is why I know for myself, that is why I reacted so strongly to that half an episode that I watched of Filthy Rich. And no, I will not be watching any more episodes. I'm glad that I watched what I did, because obviously I needed to watch that for it to be triggered, and that which isn't triggered tends to stay buried. And so now that it was triggered, I've been working on it some more to heal that part of me. And am I there yet? Probably not. It needs more healing. It needs more acknowledging, and that's okay. I'm being patient with it as well. And so let's embrace the divine feminine within us and stand up, stand in our power, and let's change the world for the better. Each and every one of us. All right? And it begins with us. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. I love you guys. And from the beautiful Lac Beauvert with Pyramid Mountain in the background, I say sayonara. And if you like this video, please share or give it a thumbs up or comment or reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you as well. And let's get connected. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.